Paul, 2-2 draw in your first home game in charge of Telford today against Kettering Town from 2-0 down. So I think I felt you've probably seen two sides to your team there.
Yeah, first half was poor to say the least. Said it before, naive, nervous, decision making, control. You know, there was nothing really to be positive about. Probably the fact it was only 2, really, which isn't good. But to come back and show the spirit that we did, and the response was positive. And I said that to the lads because I can imagine there's been occasions where in that situation we haven't come back, and we folded and we've give up, but we can't do that. We're in a position where we can't do that. So from that point, it was a positive.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I suppose some of the things you mentioned there, some of the things that were lacking, I guess does that just come from taking over a team that's in the position that Telford are in currently?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, we tried to make the most of the fact that we haven't had any football since a couple of weeks. But I think it showed today that we haven't had football for a couple of weeks. You know, we've obviously you're training the pitch. You know, you're training sizes and your pitch sizes, I should say. They're never as big as a full-size pitch. But today I felt distances weren't right. Spaces in between players, there was too big a gaps between units. We were first half we were so far off it, so far away from each other. Ozzy was isolated up front, back four were deep at times, the midfield were stuck in the middle of it and not getting anywhere near it. But like I said, we tried to address a few things at half time, and thankfully the lads responded and came out fighting, and you know, maybe a few more minutes and we might have actually nicked the win. But I did say to them, if you get a goal, you will go on to get something out the game, but you've got to believe you're going to get a goal. Yeah,
sure. I mean, a victory would have been terrific, undoubtedly, but you know, would that have perhaps papered over some of the cracks for you?
Massively, but I'd have took it. I'd have took it all day long. But you know, you've got to give Kettering credit as well. You know, the first half they barely put it on us. They smelt a vulnerability about us, and they took advantage of it. They asked us questions. Like you say, we showed a lot of naivety for the second goal. We've just sort of handled a little bit of a spell of pressure, and then we play out and we're not set up to play out yet, and we give the ball away, not even on the edge of the box, and it ends up in the back of the net. And it was just, there was a lot of things that did open my eyes, because you only see that side of things during games when it matters. Hopefully I don't see it too often, but that's going to be a case of working at it and working hard at it, and reminding of what we need to do and what we don't need to do, and obviously showing as well, because we'll have to look at a few bits from that video definitely in the first half.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think you spoke about qualities of teams bearing your name as being ones that were hard to beat, and as much as the comeback today was, you know, in the players' favour, that it's not going 2-0 down in the first place, isn't it? That's the...
No, because you'll play against the side who don't give the goals up the way Kettering did. You know, maybe they showed their vulnerability of the run that they're on. You know, I don't know, but we can't go 2-0 down and then start to have a go, because let's have it right, even though we're positive about the point, we can still be better, you know, with the players that I keep saying with the players that we've got, but the players that we've got have really got to start turning it on now and playing to the sense. I just felt today at half time I could have made half a dozen changes, but you know, like I say, thankfully we got the point.
Sure. It's a break from league action next week with Stourbridge in the FA Trophy, but then potentially a really important league game coming up after that. So, you know, there's no respite, is there? It's, you know,
Saturday, once Saturday comes, the period then starts to pick up momentum. You know, we're talking about not playing, and we're obviously going to have a load of games in a short space of time, and we've got to be ready for it. We've certainly got to perform better than we did in the first half, you know, and show the spirit that we showed in the second half, but without going a goal down, without going 2 goals down. You know, show it from the off, get the fans behind you, not just behind us because we're reacting to something. Let's get them behind us if we go a goal up. You know, let's get the place loud, let's get them cheering rather than jeering at half time like they were, which I've said it myself, I was joining them because it just wasn't good enough, and management, staff, players, you don't want to be associated with performances like that, but like I say, positives are we showed spirit and resilience, we came back and we got what will be a valuable point.
Okay, that's lovely, Paul. Thanks very much for your time. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.